Hello, welcome to Chair Yoga with Weight. So this is a new class for me. I hope you enjoy it. This is taking some chair yoga exercises, and then we're incorporating a little bit of some light weight training in with that as well. So in addition to your chair, something that does not have arms, does not have wheels, does not swivel, that sort of thing. I've got two sets of weights here. So I've got a lighter set, that's the pink one, and those are 2 pounds. And then I've got a heavier set. These are the purple ones. They're 5 pounds. So if you're new to weight, I don't recommend anything over 5 pounds. And I would highly recommend that you do this class first without any weight. Make sure that your form is good before adding in the weights, because if your form is bad without the weight, weights will not magically fix that. So just kind of be mindful. And if you don't have any weight, bottled water, bags of beans, bags of rice, all of those things are great to bring in. Just make sure that you're not using anything in a glass container. So in case you break it, you don't have a potentially dangerous situation on your hands. Not to mention the mess. So that being said, if you are short, and I'm 4'10" and a half, I like to use blocks under my feet when I'm sitting here because that puts me in a better seated position versus having my feet in the floor where my hip flexors and everything are just not in a good alignment here. So you're free to bring those in. If you are shorter, if you're taller, then you won't need them. And I'm sitting probably towards the middle, towards the front of my chair. So my back is not up against the back of the chair. So I'm coming into a nice, tall, seated posture. You can close your eyes or keep them open with gaze cast down. And just get into a little bit of a breathing pattern here. We'll just center a little bit. And then just notice as you're here, is there anywhere that you could soften just a little bit more? Maybe through the forehead, the jaw, the shoulders, even the hips. And then notice the breath. As you inhale, can you expand that rib cage? And then slowly exhaling. We'll come again, big inhale. And exhale. Good. From here, whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. Arms are going to come down. I'm just going to work on rolling the shoulders a little bit here. So most of the exercises that we're going to do today with the weight are going to be more in the upper body, but we will do a lower body exercise as well. Let's reverse directions. Good. And then from here, just take the arms up. Big inhale and reach, 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 reach to the top. Turning palms away. Grow taller from crown to tail as you press down that air. We'll take that again, taking the hands up. Reach up, reach, reach, reach. Turning palms away, pressing that air down as you come down. Let's take those arms up again. Reach, reach, reach. Good. I'm going to take the left hand anywhere that's comfortable and natural. So that might be the thigh, that might be the side of the chair. And we're just going to take a side bend. And as you do so, could you keep your shoulders and your hips in alignment and try to avoid this forward collapse to really open that up? Good. And a nice long arm will give you a little bit more engagement down the side versus kind of bending from the elbows. Keep breathing, expanding. We'll come all the way up and we'll reach. And we'll take that to the other side. Take your hand where you need to take it and reaching over. Breathing and expanding. Feel those intercostal muscles, those muscles between the ribs open up. And coming back up and we'll reach. Good. I'm going to take that again. Reaching over. We're going to add a twist on here in just a moment. And so breathing and coming up. So now my right hand's going to come to the outside of my left thigh. This right hand can be down. You can also reach more behind you on your seat or the back of your chair, wherever it's comfortable for you to go. Always twisting with length. Good. And then we're just going to look behind. Can you relax the shoulders? Maybe that front shoulder can come back just a little bit. Breathe and expand through the rib cage. And then from here, we'll come up, moving through center and go to the, actually, let's take that side bend first. Good. Changing things up a little bit from what I normally do today, not just with the weight, but just in general, different flows. Good for the brain to change things up every now and then. Good. And then from here, we'll come back up. Good. Left hand on top of the right thigh, maybe to the outside. Right hand's gonna come anywhere it's comfortable. Find your length, find the twist. Breathing and expanding, maybe taking this front shoulder back just a little bit here. And then when ready, good, we can lift up and come back to center. So from here, let's continue to work a little bit. Let's come into a body wave. So arms are gonna come to the side. I'm gonna round the spine as I reach forward. You can choose to tuck the tailbone here or not, be mindful. I'm gonna take it back. Good, so exhale into flexion, inhale into extension. Another way to kind of look at this arms aside is kind of like a seated cat-cow, if you will. Just opening up the back a little bit, opening up the front of the chest. Good, and then we'll come back and come down. So let's continue opening up the shoulders a little bit here. Let's warm them up, taking the arms out to the side. Good, from the shoulders, we're gonna take some circles. So I'm circling forward. And notice how I've got core control, so I'm not doing this. I'm nice and connected, relaxing the shoulders. Take a big inhale. Good, big exhale. Let's reverse, now going backwards. Big inhales, big exhales. Good. And then from here, good, we'll take that down. Let's get a little bit of a stretch. I'm just gonna take my right arm over top of my left. I'm just gonna come and hug, maybe a lift and a lower, some squeezing, trying to separate the shoulder blades here. And then let's take that again, arms out to the side. Just take the other arm on top. Good. Squeeze, really hug, maybe a lift and lower, just kind of finding what you need to find. And then once you're ready, good, we'll release. And we're gonna come to standing now. So I'm gonna move my blocks out of the way. Good. And just so you can better see what I'm doing, I'm gonna turn my chair sideways here. Good. And we're gonna start with a half sun salute with the chair. And then we'll move into a chair version of a full sun salutation as well. So for this first one, keep the feet about hip width apart. You want to make sure you're not too close or too far away from your chair. Big inhale and reach. Exhale, we're going to bend the knees. Hands are going to come to your chair seat. Inhale, press through the feet and the legs. Nice flat back. And we'll bend the knees, pressing through the feet and the legs, coming up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's do that again. Big inhale and reach. Exhale, we're going to bend as we come down. Pressing through the feet and the legs, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, bending the knees. Press through the feet and the legs as we come up. You want your legs to always take the load, not the back, so really engage them. Good. Now we're going to move on from here. The big inhale will reach. Exhale, we'll bend, hands to the feet and bow. Pressing through the feet and the legs, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, we'll bend and bow. Good. Now we're going to come back here and we're going to come back to a chair plank. And if you're not someone who wants to do a plank today, you can always come back to a down dog. So I'll show you that here real quick. So I'm holding on to the side of my chair. Okay. And I'm going to step back and I'm going to find my nice plank here. Okay. Some of you aren't going to do that because maybe a downward facing dog version like this with knees slightly bent is a better option for you today. Also note here that whether you're doing a down dog or a plank, you can do that on your forearms as well, okay? So take care of yourself, find your needs. Good. So from here, when you're ready, I'm going to step back to my plank. Good. Just being careful when we come back there. Good. I'm going to find the length in the torso. Good. Rolling the shoulders back. My heels are lifted, even though I'm pressing back through them. And my belly button is in nice and tight. Good. Now, from here, you can shift back to a down dog. I'm going to use my feet to come forward and find extension. So here's an up dog. I'm not hanging in the back. I'm nice and controlled. And then I'm going to take that back to my downward facing dog. Breathing. Nice stretch for the upper body. Nice stretch through the back side of the body as well. And then from here, good. I'm going to lift and lengthen. Get a little bend in the knees. I'm going to step or walk forward, pressing through the feet and the legs. Find that nice long spine. Exhale, we'll bend and we'll fold. Pressing through the feet and the legs. We'll come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. So we'll do that again. This time we're going to move that through that a little bit quicker. So you take any modification through there that you need. So you can skip the up dog. You can forearm it. You can do the plank or not. You choose what you need. So I'm just going to step back a little bit here. Good. Big inhale and reach. Exhale, we'll bend and we'll fold. Hands to the chair. Pressing through the feet and the legs. Lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, we'll bend and we'll fold. Good. Inhale. Step back into your plank pose if you're taking it. Good. Find your length first. Belly button is in. Good. If you're hanging down here, that's a lot of strain on the back. It's better to come up here if you're not strong to take that length. Pushing through the feet, I'm going to take that nice extension into my up dog. And then from here, I'm using my core to take me back to my downward facing dog. Just take a breath here, and while you're here, just shake the head yes. Shake the head no. Good. Inhale, look forward. Good. Step a little bit more forward, bending the knees. Pressing through the feet and the legs. Lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, bend and we'll fold. Pressing through the feet and the legs. We'll rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Finding breath, finding your mountain. Okay, let's get into some weight. So I'm going to turn the chair back this way. Good. I'm going to bring my blocks back in for my feet. And so for this one, especially if you've got a shoulder issue, err on the side of caution and use light weights or no weight here. So I'm going to use my pink 2-pound weight. And I'm sitting again towards the middle, towards the front of my chair, so I'm not all the way to the back. And I'm going to turn my palms facing behind me. So the tops of the hands are facing forward. And zipping up nice and tight, using your abdominals as best as you can. We're going to lift no higher than shoulder height, go where you can go. And then we're going to lower that down with control. So you want to resist in both directions. Now I'm going to turn the palms to the side. I'm going to open to the side again, no higher than shoulder height. And then taking that back down. Good. Palms face behind, lift forward, lower, to the side, and down. There's 2. Let's take it for 3. Down, side, down, 4, forward, down, side, down. You can stop at any time. We're going to try to go to 10 here. 5, down, side, down, forward, 6, down, side, down, 7, down, side, down, forward lift for 8, lower, lateral lift, lower, 9, lower, lateral, lower last time, 10, inside, Good. Now just let your weight just kind of rest on the thighs here for a moment. Come back to the breath, come back to centering. Notice how you feel. Was that challenging? Okay. And if it was, we're going to do a second set of those. Then maybe the second set, you don't use the weight and just do the motion. So notice how you feel. Maybe the weight that you're using is too heavy, so you need to make an adjustment there. Or maybe the weight that you're using is too easy, so you need to make an adjustment there. So it's always okay to decrease and increase as your form and body permit. Just make sure that you are indeed in good form before adding more weight. And if you start to lose that form when you add more weight, then you want to lower that back down because we're not quite ready for that yet. Okay, round number 2. Okay, palms are facing behind. Good. Inhale, exhale. Good. 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 Now, I inhaled on the left, I exhaled on the lower. That's one way to do it. Or you can also try this way. Good. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. I think this is 4. Good. So always play with the breath. Sometimes what we're always taught might not be the best for your body and your situation in that moment. The most important thing always is to breathe. And I think this is 7. 8. Good. Watch the directions of your palms. And 10, I think, I hope. Woo, taking that down. Good. Just take a moment, roll the shoulders out here. If it would feel good to you to kind of take your arms to the side, get a little bit of rotation, and just kind of reach back, reach forward, find your stretch where you need to take it, or maybe you just want to rest for a moment. And when you're ready, good. I'm going to put my weights to the side, and I'm actually going to take them really down into the side here. Good. Because we're going to take this into a warrior 2 and some stuff here. So I'm just going to move my blocks to the side here as well. Let me show you for a moment, if you're someone that still needs to sit on the chair for your warrior 2, for chair yoga. Good. So I'm going to start here. This is my right leg. My right leg would come out first, left leg coming back. So if you're shorter, you might need a block under that foot, but you're towards the front and the edge of your chair here. And then your back leg's going to come back and it's going to rotate out about 45-ish degrees. Good. And then maybe this is your warrior 2 today. Okay. If you are ready to move beyond that, good. I'm going to take my chair right here. Good. Now you can also do this up against the wall as well. I'm going to take my right leg forward. Good. So my knee is touching it. I'm going to use my chair to step back. So kind of in parallel railroad track from here. Good. From that left thigh or hip rather, I'm going to warrior press that out. Good. And then using my chair as a guide, so my knee doesn't come too far forward. I'm going to press into that front heel and I'm going to see where I can be here. And if that's okay, front hip can come back. Your back hip will come forward. Good. And try not to move the hips very much. You can open to the side. So that's another way you can do it. You can also flip your chair around. Hand can be on the back of the chair if you need that support as well. Good. So I'm breathing here. Good. So this class is for the advanced beginner or intermediate level chair work because we've got weights today, and also more advanced version of our chair work as well. Good. Breathing. And then once you're ready, good. I'm going to carefully take my hands back through the chair. Good. I'm going to swivel up that back foot and then step that front foot in. Good. So if you were seated on your chair, you're going to come up from here. I'm going to leave my chair where it is. We're going to do a gate pose variation here. So again, I'm just going to kind of flip this around here. So some of you may not have to do it this way. I'm not going to be able to do it. Let me do this. Good. So you can stick your foot up here. What I want you to do is this hip, knee, and toe, your forefoot is going to come forward. This hip, knee, and toe are going to turn out to the side. And for some of you, you're going to get enough of a stretch right through here, just being here. Okay. And if you need to hold on to something on the side, you certainly can. Now, those of you that are a little bit more advanced in that, you want a little bit more of a stretch, come out just a little bit more from your chair and take your foot to the side. So your hip, knee, and toe are still going to point towards the ceiling here, and this hip, knee, and toe are still going to come forward. So now we're going to get into that inner thigh by coming into a gate pose. So your right hand, same hand as leg, can stay right there. Left arm's going to come up. Good. And I'm just going to side bend over. So I'm opening up the side. I'm stretching a little bit more through here. Keep a micro bend in this knee if your leg is long. Breathing and expanding. Now from here, I'm going to use my core and I'm going to use this leg. So this arm's going to come up. I'm going to press down into this leg. So I've got a little bit more engagement here as I come back up. And then I'm just going to counter switch over a little bit. This is not going to be very extreme. We don't want to fall over. And then when you're ready, let's do that one more time. Good. Taking it to where you need to take it. Reaching. Breathing. And then arms going to come up. Press through that leg, press through that side. Engage, engage, engage. Good sneaky core work here, and we'll come down. Based on where you went here and the way that's best for you, carefully take that foot off your chair. If you need to kind of march for a moment or just kind of wiggle something out, go ahead and do so. Otherwise, we're going to use our chair for pyramid pose. So that same leg that was on your chair should have been your right leg. It's going to step forward. Good, with a long back. Good, kind of help yourself to get there. Hands can be anywhere you need them to be. I'm going to step my left leg back now. My left heel is not on the floor, even though I'm pressing back through that heel. I'm lengthening through my torso, and my front hip, which should be the right hip, is coming back. Now, once I'm set up there, this might be enough for you in that right hamstring. If not, you can lengthen. Okay. For some of you, that might be enough. Others, maybe you take the hands forward or take the forearms down here. But notice how I've kept a long back and I'm not hanging in my shoulders, so I'm still lifted. Be where you can be. Feel the stretch. Good. Come out at any time if something's not working for you. Taking the breath. Now from here, I took my forearms. Good. I'm going to come back onto my hand. I'm going to put a bend in that knee and step the back foot forward. Good. And then bending both knees as I come back up to standing. And we're going to do that same thing on the other side. So I'm just going to take my chair over here just so that my back side is not to you, but you can totally just stay where you are. So again, find the warrior two where you need it. Do you need to be seated? If you're going to be seated, it's going to be the left foot forward this time, right leg back. Otherwise, you can use your chair as a guide if you want to play with the standing. So I'm just going to make sure that this knee is up against the chair. Good. I'm going to take that back leg out. Good. And then from the hip, I'm going to warrior prep. Good. And then pressing into that front heel. Good. I'm going to find my warrior two. So my front hip's going to come back a little bit here. Good. And your alignment might be a little bit different on this side than the other side. That's okay. Be where you need to be. Zip up through that front body and breathe. Relax those shoulders. Find your heels. Good. And then when you're ready, good. We're going to gently come out of there. Good. And back foot's going to come up. So going into the half gate pose, again, you choose. Are you just going to be here and work? Or are you going to lengthen that leg out? So you need to come out a little bit for me as I come in. Good. So my right hip and knee and toes are now pointing forward. Okay, there is a little softness there in that knee. I don't know if you can see it or not. Good. My hip, knee, and toes are pointing towards the ceiling. Even if you're bent, you're still tracking in that same alignment. So whenever you're ready, here we go. Big inhale. Exhale, taking that over. Reaching. Noticing if this side feels different to you than the other side. It might not. And then getting that sneaky core work in here. Arms going to come up, Press through that right leg as you come back up to standing. Good. We'll take a gentle side bend here. Remember, we're not going to go very far. We don't want to tip over. And when ready, good. We'll take that again. Right arm's going to come up. Good. Find your side bend. Breathing. And when you're ready, good. The right arm's going to come up. Press through that right leg as you come up here. Good. And then in the way that's best for you based on what you did here, take that foot off your chair. Coming into the pyramid position now, it's going to be your left foot that's forward. So I'm just going to bend here on the side. Then I'm going to take that left foot forward, stepping that right foot back. Good. I'm going to let myself get into a good alignment here. So my left hip's going to come back a little bit. Right hip's going to come forward. I'm pressing back through the back heel. The back heel's not grounded. And then when I feel secure, knowing this might be enough, I'm going to lengthen that front leg. Good. Now hip shifted in transition. It's the left hip back, right hip forward, or the front hip back, back hip forward. And again, this might be enough. Or maybe you come a little bit more forward. Maybe you take the forearms down. Find yours. Find your length in the torso. Breathe and expand. Good. Keep that belly in. And when you're ready, if you took your forearm, good, you can carefully come up here, let a bend in that knee, take the back foot forward, good, bending the knees and coming up. Let's reach up towards the ceiling here. Exhale, hands to heart center. Okay, going back to the weights again, we're gonna come back and do some seated upper body. And I'm gonna bring my blocks back in here as well. And for this one, I'm going to use my heavier weight, my 5 pounds, because we're going to get into the biceps and triceps here. Take your lighter weights if you're using them, or if you're just using one set of weights, take what you have. Good. And we'll come here. So I'm sitting again towards the middle, towards the front of my chair. Good. I'm going to take my weights to the side. Now I want my elbows to be pinned into the side of the body here. So when I bicep curl, my elbows are not moving with me. And you only really need to bring your weights up to the chest. They don't have to touch the shoulder. So I'm going to show you a real quick version of this to the side here, just so you can see some different things. Sometimes it's hard to see from the front. Good. And I'll just show you with this one. Good. So my elbow is in. Good. I'm curling. I'm stopping right at the chest and taking it down. Elbow doesn't move at all. Also watch your wrist. I see a lot of people that do this wrist curl, this compensation thing. Try to keep that wrist and your forearm nice, one long single unit. Okay. So if that's too much on the wrist, your weight may be too much for you for right now. Okay. So be mindful of that. One of my pet peeves of training people is that wrist curl, because it's just not good on the wrist. Okay, from here, sitting up, here we go 10 times. Big inhale. And take it down. Slow and controlled. Resist in both directions. 2, 3, 4. How can you get your core more engaged here? 5. But not so engaged that you can't breathe and move with ease. 6. Good. 7. Can you curl both sides evenly? 8. 9. And 10. Good. You can take those down. You can take a little break here, and I'm going to show you something. So when we do the triceps here, we're going to do this as a French press from back here, and you're in charge of that. So you can take one of the weights you have and do that. Or if you want something a little bit more challenging, take both of your weights together and whatever way that's easier for you to hold on to, and you can take that up, and you can do that this way. Okay, so this is what I'm going to choose today. So I'm going to start back here. You want your elbows to not be out here. They're in tight towards the body. And then I'm going to press all the way through and take that down. Good. Exhale, 2. Use your core to help you get up there. 3, 4, 5. Stay with the breath. I like to exhale on the lift here, but you don't have to do that if that doesn't work for you. 6, 7, 8. Stop when you need to stop. 9 and 10. Good. Carefully take that back in front. Short little break here. You can kind of release your weight. You can take something out. Breathe. We're going to go through that again. Set of 10 for each one. So this is going to give you a choice with your bicep curl. So you can do it the same way we did it before with palms facing forward. If you want a little bit more hammer curl, your palms are going to face you. So, and that's the one that I'm going to choose on this one. So zipping up nice and tall, elbows are pinned in. Good. And we'll go 1, 2, use those abs. 3, use your breath. 4, try not to swing the body. If you're doing that, you're using momentum. I think this is 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Take a little bit of a moment. Choose 1 weight or 2 weight. We're going to take that into our last French press here. Taking it up. Elbows are pinned in, not out. Good. And we'll press that down. Good. And we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, almost there. 9 and 10. And we'll take that down. Good. Take a break for a moment. Take your arms out, palms turning up, turning everything away. There's your bicep stretch. Palms up, take the hands up, hands together. Take it straight back. There's your tricep stretch. Good. And when you're ready, good. We'll gently take this down. Okay. I'm going to carefully come off my blocks. I'm going to take my weights. I'm going to take them to the side for right now. Good. And we're going to take this into a balance challenge. And this is going to be a Warrior 3 balance challenge today. So I'm going to take my chair here. Okay. Good. And you can always play with this, not using the chair if you're ready to go there as well. I'm just going to come into a little bend and both hands on my chair seat. Pushing with the feet. Good. I'm zipped up nice and tight. I'm going to let my left leg do the balancing here first. And I'm going to take my right leg back. Now, you want your hips to be even, so we're not turning out to the side. That's a different balance challenge. And then you can just take that to where you can take it. Toe, knee, and hip of the right leg are going to touch the floor. Good. How tall can you grow out of that left leg? And then if you want a little bit slightly more core engaged, you can play with taking that left arm out to the side. And notice how you get a slight engagement in the abs of the left side, those obliques. Breathe. Left hand will come down if you took that option. Right leg's going to come back in to meet the left. Bend the knees. Shake the head yes. Shake the head no. And when you're ready, we're going to take that all on the other side. So pressing through the feet. Good. This time, my weight's going to be in the right leg. I'm going to take the left leg back. I'm going to make sure I'm set. So my hips are kind of squared forward here. I've got a micro bend in this knee. And I'm going to lift that left leg to the point where I can no longer keep the foot, knees, and toes facing the floor. And then pressing out of that right hip, making that just a little bit stronger. And then those of you that want that little core option, maybe the right arm comes out to the right. The higher the lift, the more the core you get. Breathing. And then if you took the right arm out, we'll bring that back in. Left foot's going to come in to meet the right. Bending the knees. When we shake the head, yes. Shake the head, no. Pressing through the feet. Coming all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. So I'm going to leave my chair right here. We're going to come into some weight with the lower body now. So I'm just going to squat and get my 5 pounds here. If you've got 2 sets of weights, you want to use your heavier ones here. I'm going to sit towards the front edge of my box. And if it's okay for you, you can put your weights right on the shoulders. If it's not, it's okay to hold them to your side. So put them where you need to put them. And we're going to come to some hover squats here. So I'm going to take my feet a little bit wider than hip width apart, maybe even wider than the chair a little bit here. And then from here, zipped up nice and tight with a long back, I'm going to lean forward a little bit, press into the heels. Here's a hover. Good. Press into the leg, stand, hover, and sit. And we'll go again. Hover, stand, hover, sit, hover, stand, hover, sit, hover, stand, hover, sit. Oh, we're going to make it harder now. Hover, stand, hover, and hold. Now, if you still want to do the hover, sit, hover, stand, feel free. Otherwise, we're going to come here. We're going to press through the heels and come back up. Good. Squats now. And press. Really squeeze those glutes as you come up. Try not to lean all the way forward here. This is not what we're doing. We're also not taking the hips lower than the knees here. But you want to squeeze those glutes, pressing through the heels as you come back up. Let's try one more. And then from here, squat and have a seat. Good job. I am going to take one of these weights. I'm going to use my chair. I'm going to take it back to the side, which means I'm also going to take my block back here. Good. So proper posture is just so important. So if you got your blocks, yes, it gets annoying moving them around, but your hip flexors especially will thank you when you're seated and doing these things correctly. So we're going to work our abs here with this weight. And I'm going to take this weight right at my chest. I'm sitting up nice and tall. I'm going to keep my knees and my hips forward, and I'm just going to do a gentle rotation here. Now, you're going to get a better rotation if you allow yourself to look in the direction that you're going. If this is too much, release the weight. And maybe inhale and exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Good. This can also be done standing. It's going to feel different. If you let the hips move, it's going to be a lot harder if you keep your hips forward without the movement. Good. And then from here, we'll come back center. Okay. From here, I'm going to take this down. Let's get some stretches in here. So come into this the way you need to. So if you need to take your left leg long first, and then take that leg over, and then kind of pull it up to get there, you can. If you're able to just pick it up and put it here, then pick it up and put it here. So I want my ankle to be up above my knee here. I'm going to point my toes towards this knee. And for some of you, this is going to be enough. Others are going to take your hands on the thighs, not the knee joint, and lightly press. Others are going to lean forward here with the long back, getting into that nice hip stretch to feel really good after the squat sequence. Breathing. Good, and then we'll come back up. Now, you can undo your legs here. We're gonna go into a twist. I'm also gonna give you an eagle option. You can cross your leg here, just like a lady. Good. Arms out, right arm on top. Good. You can hug or you can wrap. Good. Just kind of find that here. You can sit up nice and tight. I'm squeezing my thighs together here. And then I'm gonna twist towards my right. And I'm not gonna go very far here, not like it was in the beginning. Just because you're twisted up. We'll come back center. We'll undo and we'll undo the legs. Undo your legs in the way that you need to. Going into the other side, again, come into it the way that you need to. You can take a long leg cross over and drag, or you can just pick it up and put it there. Good. Toes are going to point towards your knee. You can stay here. You can press into the thigh for a nice long back as you lean forward. I love how there's so many variations of the stretch. You can be on your back, you can be standing, you can be seated, you can be in a chair. You can be belly down on the floor, all kinds of things. Good. And then we'll come up. So you choose, you can undo and you just twist to the left, or you can cross over. Arms out, left arm on top this time. Find a wrap or a hug. Find where you're going. Squeeze the thighs together. Try to pull the shoulder blades apart here. And you can stay or you can twist to the left. Breathe and expand. And we'll come back to center. And we'll carefully undo and come from here. I'm going to shift my blocks more forward. I'm going to come a little bit more to the front edge. I'm going to take my toes towards my face. Micro bend the knees. We're going to come to a seated forward fold. Big inhale, long back, come forward. When you can come no more with the long back, take the hands down. Good. Now, if you need to keep a flat back, keep it. If it's okay for you to continue to round in, take it where you can take it. Relax the face. Return to the breath. And then from here, based on where you went with that, carefully walk the hands back up the legs and back to a seat. Okay, we are going to go into a gentle side bend and then come into our Shavasana. I'm going to scoot back just a teeny tiny bit here. Arms up, big inhale. Exhale, taking that over. Hopefully you can open up a little bit more now than you were in the beginning, so you can side bend a little bit deeper this time. Breathe and expand. And then we'll come back up. We'll take that to the other side. Breathing. And coming back here. Good. So you always have the option to come off your chair and lie down on the floor if you want to Shavasana that way. You can also lie down on the floor with your feet on the chair if you want kind of more of a tabletop relaxation. Or you can sit here with me today, and we're going to scoot back just a little bit more. Good. I'm going to sit up nice and tall, and I'm just going to let my hands just relax on the top of my thighs, and my palms are turned up towards the ceiling. And taking some deep breaths here. I will give you a guided breath here, but notice you can always just be. Coming to a 4, 6, 8 breath. Big exhale to prepare. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last time. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 6, 7. Wrong direction. We're probably at 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Return to normal breath. From here, if you're on the floor, carefully bring the knees into the chest. Roll over to your right or left side and pause there for a moment. If you're with me in the chair, arms to the side, kind of let sensations come back. And then if you're on the floor, when you're ready, come to a seated position, either on the floor or in the chair. Everybody together, palms out. We'll reach out nice and tall, touching the palms together. And as you bring the hands down, we'll touch the thumbs to the forehead for good and true thoughts, to the lips for good and kind words, and to the heart for open and loving hearts. Knowing no effort on this mat is ever wasted, no gain is ever reversed. May you be safe. May you stay well. May you have a wonderful day, evening, week, season ahead. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.